is 12-year-old Ramon Dada. He is a inhabitant of Agbogbloshie, which is the largest digital waste landfill in the world, which is located in Ghana. He started working for the landfill at age 9, and he works with his friends chemically stripping computer chips and computer wires to extract precious metals. Ramon says that he tries to go to school whenever possible, but working at the landfill takes up most of his time. Hi, my name is Morgan Johnson, and today I will be encouraging you to adopt sustainable technology usage techniques. And by doing this, you will not only save energy and money on your energy bill, you'll also be reducing vast amounts of electronic waste that is dumped every single day in various areas around the world. I've researched this topic extensively as I plan on working with an environmental organization after I graduate. And today I will stress the importance of sustainable computer use by showing you the effects of unsustainable computer use and encourage you to make some basic changes in your everyday technology usage. With new technological advancements every single year, we never really think about where our old devices end up. Well, in fact, 41 million tons of electronics are being tossed every single year, according to Electronic Recyclers International. And 90% of this waste is being illegally dumped and traded, according to the United Nations Environment Program. Unfortunately, since this is a fairly new problem, most of this e-waste is ending up in developing countries. And because those developing countries don't really have a legal system set in place yet, a lot of black markets are arising, much like the one that Ramon is a part of in Agbogbloshie. It also is causing a ton of pollution problems in these areas. Air pollution is probably one of the main causes of environmentally destroying areas around them because people burn these electronic wires in order to extract those metals out of them. In a study done by Guinea Zhang and others in 2012 in China on lung condition of children in these e-waste areas, children had extremely high levels of nickel, chromium, and manganese in their system, which can be very deadly. Soil and water pollution is also very common in these areas, especially from cathode ray tube chemicals that come from your computer screens and your LCD monitors. And in fact, in your mobile cell phone alone, there are 40 different chemicals that could be released when you throw this device away. That's according to the Environmental Health and Safety Journal. Imagine holding those chemicals up to your ear every single day. But then just imagine those same chemicals being in your water systems every single day. That isn't the only problem. Computer use takes up a huge chunk of your electricity bill every year. And according to Michael Boujay, who is an award-winning website publisher, home computers can take up to $631 per year to run. I don't know about you, but I'd rather not spend that much money on just browsing Facebook every day. Thankfully, there are some things that you should be doing to reduce your impact on e-waste and your energy usage. Number one is turn off your device. Griffith University in Australia did a study on how much their university uses in computer use, or computer energy. And what they did was they set up a normal workstation computer for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, without turning it off. They found that that single computer alone contributed $130 worth of electricity per year. And then they did the same study with a computer that was only run during business hours, so 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. Does anybody have any guesses on how much that would be?
$50.
Good guess. It's actually only $30. So turning off your computer is very beneficial when you're not using it. Second is reevaluate your technological cravings. Do you really need that brand new iPad with 100 new features? And I know having that latest technology is probably pretty great to have, However, what happens to that old iPad that's just sitting on your desk? So buying that new piece of technology actually wastes all of the resources you used to make it when you don't really need it. Number 3 is probably one of the most important, is recycling and reusing your devices. Now, I know we've all heard this one before, but did you know that according to DoSomething.org, only about 12.5% of all technology is being recycled every year? Now, imagine what we can do if we raise that number. And probably the most important thing you can do to reuse these devices is to reach out to local organizations to donate them. So, for example, there's an organization called Cell Phones for Soldiers, where you can donate your old cell phones and they donate them to soldiers in need. And even if you don't know of an organization that's close by you, there are plenty of organizations nationwide where you can donate your devices over mail. Now, these are only a few things you can do, but there are plenty of other things that you can do, and it's going to take a lot of work. And thankfully, some humanitarian and environmental organizations have already started doing this, and there is hope for the future. In October of 2014, the Blacksmith Institute for a Pure Earth started turning the Agbogbloshie dump site into a recycling plant. And this has caused tremendous change throughout the area. People are getting jobs, they're working in safe conditions, and not breathing in those fumes that they were previously breathing in. But it's going to still take a lot of work. So I ask you to just think about the energy you're using and how you're disposing of your technology and the harms that it causes to the environment. Because I personally believe that every person deserves the same right to clean water, clean air, and a safe living environment. And so we talked about turning off your device, reevaluating you buying a new device, recycling and reusing your old ones. And if we do all of these, then people like Ramon and Agbogbloshie won't be sifting through your old devices in order to survive. So I'll end you with the Chinese proverb that I really enjoy. If we do not change our direction, we're likely to end up where we are headed. And I believe this is wholeheartedly true. So I encourage you to make these changes, and that's it. Thank you very much. Does anyone have any questions?
Yes.
Go for it.
So in the case of, like, I don't know if there is a preferable one, like recycling or reusing, would it be better to recycle, like, your old devices, or would it be better to put them back into the environment, like going to other people? Like, what's the...
In my research, I found that reusing them and repurposing them for other people is actually more effective because recycling can take up a lot of energy as well. So donating your device and getting it fixed and then sending it to people who actually need it is actually more economical and environmentally friendly. So that's definitely the better route to take.
Why aren't these old electronics being dumped into third world countries?
Simply, it's just kind of like the rest of the trash that we dump. There's just no other place to put it, and these areas don't really have legal regulations in place, so it's just easier to kind of dump them in those areas. And unfortunately, that really takes a toll on the people living there, because especially in China, in Agbogbloshie as well, people don't have jobs, so they resort to, burning these things and selling the old technology. So.
Do you know if, like, the local dump stations here, like the waste management areas, do they have special dumping sites, like hazardous materials? You know, like you can take paint cans, to these places. Will they take your electronics as well?
They will. They
Okay.
will. Yeah. Most waste management companies do take separate technology. So if you have a computer monitor or anything, they will take that and recycle it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you would just have to do some research in your area and just really think about that before you just toss it in the dumpster. Anything else?
I have another question, actually.
Yeah.
Sorry. So do you think that like manufacturing companies of computers or cell phones know about the dangers of the chemicals they're putting in the phones and like where they're ending up, and do you think they're making any changes to combat that in the future?
They probably do know, but unfortunately, like most corporate companies in America, they do it anyway because it's the cheapest route.
Money.
So they're gonna put in all of these chemicals, the 40 different chemicals in your phone, and the cathode ray tube chemicals in TV screens, and they're gonna do that because it's the cheapest option. So unfortunately, the only thing that can be done feasibly by every one of us is to recycle and reuse these. Reduce the amount that you're using.
So there's all these chemicals in our phones and computers and TVs. Could that be affecting us with our daily usage of it?
It could be. There are some studies that are researching that right now, especially cell phone usage and charging it at night close to your head. It has been linked to cancer and other diseases like that, but I mean, nothing has been 100% proven yet. It's just kind of all in the works. So that's another thing to keep in mind. Just be aware of all these chemicals that are in what we're using, and just be aware. Anything else? All right. Thank you guys so much.
Going back.
You want
I'm